Appreciate everyone coming out. I'm here to give you a briefing on an officer-involved shooting that occurred last night. This incident occurred around 10:30 p.m. in the 12,200 block of FM 1431 East. This location is actually outside the city. It lies within Burnett County. This incident involved an off-duty APD detective who was driving in this stretch of roadway and came upon an incident in which he felt the need to take immediate action, to save lives based on what was occurring. Given the jurisdiction in which this incident took place, the Austin Police Department will not be the investigating agency for the criminal portion of this investigation. We will, however, be responsible for the administrative portion. This case is being investigated both by the Burnett County Sheriff's Department along with Texas DPS and their Ranger Division. Given that, my comments today, I will keep them brief because I do not want to do anything to interfere with their investigation as we're still in the very early hours of this incident. What we do know at this point, based on the preliminary information, is that, again, our off-duty detective was traveling in the 12,200 block of East FM 1431 in Burnett County when he came across a scene where he saw a suspect firing a weapon at citizens that were in the immediate area. He recognized that lives were in danger. He immediately stopped his car, exited his vehicle, and fired his weapon at the suspect in this incident. He did end up striking the suspect, thereby ending the threat that he posed to the individuals that were also involved in this incident. We believe at this time that there was some type of a disturbance that occurred between two different vehicles along this stretch of roadway that led to the violent encounter that our officers showed up upon and ultimately took action at. So we think that's what led up to what the detective showed up at and led him to take the actions that he took. The individual that was firing this weapon, the suspect in this incident, is a 55-year-of-age white male. He was struck by bullet, by gunfire, and that will be part of the ongoing investigation. He was transported to a local area hospital where he was found to not have life-threatening injuries. His injuries were not life-threatening. Again, this case is under investigation by the Department of Public Safety along with the Burnett County Sheriff's Department. The Austin Police Department's Internal Affairs Division was on scene along with the Office of the Police Monitor, and we will conduct the administrative investigation. The detective involved in this incident is a 19-year veteran of the Austin Police Department, and as is our typical practice, he will be placed on administrative duty while we conduct these investigations, and we are fully participating and cooperating as necessary with the agencies that are conducting this investigation. Again, I'm going to really keep the comments limited at this time due to the fact that we're in the early hours of the investigation, and it will be agencies other than APD that are conducting the investigation. But with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Can you speak to who was in the vehicle that was being shot at?
There were two adults, and we believe one individual maybe in the teenage years.
Any indication they knew the shooter beforehand?
There's no indication of that, but again, this is an investigation that's being conducted by both the Burnett County Sheriff's Department along with DPS. We, as APD, have not yet interviewed the officer, the detective that was involved in this incident, and we will actually wait to do that until we get the cooperation and the coordination with Burnett County and the DPS.
What does this say with the 24/7 nature of the job? Obviously, this detective, not in his jurisdiction, not on duty, but encounters such a situation where he steps forward and obviously involves himself.
I think this highlights the fact, we talk about this, that as a police officer, even when you're off duty, you may be on duty, and that's why you always have to be aware, you have to pay attention, and you have to be prepared to take action, because from what I understand the facts to be, our detective saved lives last night. Based on the actions that he took. Had he not been on that stretch of roadway at that time, there's really no telling what would have happened, because the act of aggression that he came across may have resulted in loss of life.
Outside of being a 19-year vet, what else can you tell us about the detective involved? Do you know him personally in terms of just your time at APD and just personally?
Yes, I do know this detective, and we will put his name out in the coming days, as is our typical practice. But again, he's a 19-year veteran of the department, and he is a detective.
Good.
Does he live out that way?
I'm not going to discuss where our officers live.
When you say disturbance on the roadway, I mean, are you alluding to road rage or do we?
So since I don't know the specifics because we're not investigating and I'm not classifying it as that, I know those words have been used, and I know there was some type of a disturbance between these vehicles.
Last question.
If I remember correctly, this is the first officer-involved shooting since around May. Can you speak to use of force by the department? Have you seen more restrained measures taken by officers in the past few months?
I think our officers are always restraining their use of force and trying to use force only in those instances where they're trying to overcome resistance. This is the first officer-involved shooting that we have had since the incident that occurred on 6th Street many months back. Thank you.